teacher at Penn's primary school, and we have been using the happiness programme now since September 2022. One of my staff members actually discovered it during one of the educational conferences, returned to school and was so kind of enthused by it and said this is something that we really need to get involved with. So obviously we bought into the programme, the happiness programme, and we've been using it now. As soon as we received it, I have to say we received it really quickly, so we started using it immediately with the children. Initially we've been using it with children who potentially perhaps need some brain breaks in and around their learning time. But because it is portable, we have been able to move it around school. But what we've recently found is that if we keep it in situ in one set place, actually we train the children so that potentially different groups of children are, if it's just individual children, they know where it is, we've trained them up how to use it. And then they just use it, they have themselves a timer and then use it for 10 minutes, and they'll use different programs, so they become quite au fait with the different programs that they can use. So in terms of special educational needs, we had a look at all of the programmes and what they promoted. So it may be some cognitive support that the children needed, or potentially fine motor skills. So we identified our children who potentially had some kind of additional needs in terms of their learning, and we were able to pinpoint those children for different tasks or different games that they needed to play, or use rather, on the happiness programme. And then that way we can monitor that with the children as well, and then really identify the impact. So if there's particularly a child, I mean, not in terms of special educational needs, but one child potentially was working on a spelling programme, and then she was actually able to move around and jump on the different bubbles. But obviously it does support children. So if we think that some of the children have got some fine motor concerns, if we do some of the paintbrush strokes with the painting programs as well, so it really gets them to be able to focus on, you know, their grip. In terms of other children, some children potentially, if they have ADHD, diagnosed with ADHD, or perhaps maybe some anxieties, sometimes it just helps to get them out of class and they can have a brain break. There will be different things that they can do, so we can vary it for those children. We'll tend to do some things potentially that are quite involve a lot of movement, so that the children are moving as opposed to something quite sedentary. So really it just supports them, and the children really look forward to it. Always helps as well as if we can definitely use one of the themes that may well be happening at the time, if it's Halloween or Christmas or Eid, so we're able to use that as well, and it kind of really supports all the different children, and you know, in terms of just diversity of culture as well.
We have to cook the board of it.
So in terms of parents, so parents are really happy about seeing it being used at school, and obviously we do actually get quite a lot of parent volunteers coming in, so they read with the children, so they get to see it being used as well. We haven't actually as yet had any of the parents using it themselves, but we have had it for parents' evenings, so that when the children are accompanying their parents, there's an ability to use it for the children and also for the parents to see it. We do need to develop that further. So I think as and when we invite parents in, we can have the happiness programme in use. I think at the moment we're a little bit protective. We don't just want it as a free-for-all and it being, you know, we do want it being manned. But obviously we do have parents in a lot. So it, you know, it'd be really good for them to kind of really begin to take charge as well. Yeah, in terms of specific children, I think what we found as well is that one of the things we've noticed is that children, it does help with share taking. So the children do work together. So if there's particularly games where they're having to work in a two, that works really well. Potentially some children who do have particular needs, they're not always able to work well with children. It does help with that social aspect, we've noticed. And we have had one particular child who recently came to us with quite demanding additional needs, and that child now does not require any further support. Child was actually at risk of exclusion and moved to our school, and actually really organises his day independently now, and he does have the happiness programme built into his timetable.
Fishy! I'm gonna get you, fishy!
But really we really do notice children that require brain breaks, they really settle down and they're straight back into their learning. So it's ideal. I mean, ordinarily before that, it may well be that they'd have 5 minutes running around on the playground, which is equally as beneficial to them. But this way we can still also keep that educational content running as well. So, we prefer that.
Oh,